Okay, first off, on the paper that you're getting, you need to write your name on it, and there needs to be a parent signature. Okay, so you're writing name, parent signature, because I want to know that you did watch the video and a parent knows that you did watch the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is better buy. I want you to draw two tables for me. We have X and we have Y. Y represents our total cost. Okay, and we have 24, 140, 280. You're filling this in with me. Alright, so you are, when you're looking at better buy, I've always told you that you're looking at unit rate. So unit meaning 1. So I want this number right here, I want the x to be 1. So in order to do that, I do y divided by x. So this is my y value. I put 140 divided by 2, which ends up giving me 70. And over here, I'm going to do y divided by x again, which will be 300 divided by 3, which ends up getting me 100. Now, in this situation, when I'm looking at it, which one is the better buy? Which one's better? And I know that if 2 of something cost me 140, 1 of something is going to cost me 70 here. If 3 of something is going to cost me 300, how much is 1? And that's when you know 100. And the reason I'm saying better buy, or the best buy, or best bang for your buck, what is the best one? And I know that it's going to end up being 70, because of the fact that when I'm looking at better buy, I'm looking at saving money, right? And this one is cheaper than this one, because one of these costs 70, one of these costs 100. So this is the better buy. All right, let's go ahead and talk about a map. So on a map, 2 inches represents 10 miles. Okay. What is the distance between 2 points if they are 10 inches apart? Okay, so we've written our question down. Now, what are the two things we're talking about here? We're talking about inches and we're talking about miles. So I know when I set up my proportion, I'm going to set it up like that, inches over miles. Okay, and then I'm going to write inches over miles on this side, because they have to correspond with each other. So in this instance, we have 2 inches equals 10 miles. So what is the difference between 2 points if they're 10 inches apart? So I put 10 under the inches. And I want you to look closely at where you're putting these numbers. 2 represents my inches, 10 represents my miles, and then on this other side, I'm looking for how many miles 10 inches represents. Okay? So I'm going to go draw an arrow towards the box, because that's my unknown. And essentially all I'm doing is to get from 2 to 10, what do I have to multiply by? So it's times 5. And 5 represents my scale factor. So times 5. So if I multiply times 5 on the top, I multiply times 5 on the bottom. That ends up giving me 10 times 5, which is 50. So that means that 10 inches represents 50 miles on a map. Okay? Alright, let's do another one. Let's say a car travels 70 miles in 7 hours. At what rate did the car travel in miles per 1 hour? So let's write that down. At what rate did the car travel in miles per 1 hour? 1 hour. Okay, so in this situation, there's 2 things I'm talking about, miles and I'm talking about hours. So I need to put miles over hours. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side. Miles over hours. Alright, so it'd be 70 miles equals 7 hours. And then it's looking for what 1 hour is. So I know that I have something I can put next to hours. It's 1. Okay? So if I'm going from here to here, what's happening? And sometimes in my head, I like to just reverse it. If I can't go easily from here to here, what if I'm going from 1 to 7? To get from 1 to 7, I'm multiplying times 7, right? So I'm going backwards, what's happening? And I would know that I'm dividing. But in the instance of dividing, it's the same as multiplying times 1/7. So what times 7 gives me 70? Okay, so if 1 times what gives me 7, then what times 7 gives me 70? And I know it's 10. So 10 miles represents 1 hour. Okay, so go ahead and finish up these notes, get a parent signature, and you should be good to go to take your retest.